I am the chief of pediatric critical care medicine at Rainbow. So I'm what's called a pediatric intensivist, where I work in a pediatric intensive care unit. We take care of the sickest children at the hospital. Any child who has one of their organs failing, they're unable to breathe on their own, they're unable to have their heartbeat on their own. We have had children in our intensive care unit with it, including children on that needed to be on a ventilator with COVID. And it's really challenging then to take off all of the equipment that we have to wear to take care of those patients so that we don't get infected and so that I don't bring the virus home to my wife or to my young children, to then go out of the hospital and see people saying that this is a hoax, that this is some political scam. It's tough to deal with. I can't implore everyone out there enough to take this seriously. This is real. This is not just the flu. This is so much worse than any flu season that I've seen in the nearly 20 years that I've been in medicine. To those people out there that think that wearing a mask is unnecessary, I get your skepticism. I'm frankly kind of a skeptic at baseline myself too. And this is a evolving situation. And there's very little that the medical community knows with absolute assurance of what's going on with COVID-19. So I think it really comes down to realizing that no matter what we do, that we're going to look back 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years down the road and realize that we could have done things differently, that we could have been a little bit more conservative, that we could have been a little more lenient. But I think that with lives at stake, that we need to err on the side of being cautious, that we need to do whatever we can to reduce the spread within our community, because doing that is what's going to enable schools to open. It's going to enable restaurants to be able to do more business, to get the economy back towards normal, to get all of our lives back towards normal. And if wearing a mask can make a difference in helping reduce the spread, I think that's something that we can all do to be good neighbors and help get over the situation as quickly as possible. I'm sitting in my office at work with my door closed right now, and I'm not wearing a mask. I can tell you that as soon as I go out in the hallway, though, even if I don't see anyone in the hallway, I'm wearing my mask just in case I do come in contact with them, and just in case I were to get any of my respiratory secretions on anything that's in our work environment. I'm asymptomatic right now. The chance of me having the virus is small, but it's not zero. So the reality is if you're going to be around other people that are not in your family, you should be wearing a mask, especially when indoors, especially when you're going to be within 6 feet of them. To put on a mask, you want to hold by the ear strap so you're not touching the part of the mask that you might have breathed virus on before. You want to cover your nose and your mouth and your chin. And you want to do your best not to touch the mask while it's on, because there might be viral particles on your hands or on your mask, and then suddenly you've taken that virus from your mask, put it on your hands, and now you're going to put it out into the environment. The material that the mask is made of can influence it. Cloth masks, especially if they're multiple layers or a thicker cloth, and an easy way to tell is just by holding it up to a bright light and seeing if you can see through it. It's gonna markedly decrease the amount of material that can get in and out. And again, they're not perfect, but it's all about just trying to minimize your risk. Wearing a mask is not perfect. Social distancing is not perfect. Even isolating is not perfect, because everyone needs to get food and the mail and those kind of things. But the better we do about that, the more consistent we all are. It all adds up. It all helps reduce the spread, and it all help us have much less viral activity in our regions. Spreads from people easily, but not anywhere near 100%. Even within families, the spread of SARS-CoV-2 is only about 20%. So if you are near someone that's infected, being exposed to them for 30 seconds does not guarantee you're going to get it. But every minute that you're exposed to them increases that chance of that. So taking your mask off for 10 seconds, it's not like some sci-fi movie where suddenly you breathe in the poison and you die. All it does is give more opportunity for that virus to spread between the two. So ideally, you'd have a mask on while near people 100% of the time, but 90% is still better than 80%, which is better than 70%, which is better than 60%. So it does seem sort of silly to be having dinner with someone and then put a mask on to walk with that same person through the restaurant. but it does actually make a difference because it reduces the amount of time that you might be exposed to their virus. And I get the skepticism, and I get like the inherent American, pro freedom, don't tread on me attitude. That's one of the things that, frankly, has made our country the leader of the free world for decades. But other things that have made our country the leader of the free world is sticking up for one another, looking out for one another, being a united States of America. And right now, the best way that we can be a community and have each other's back is to do simple things like wearing our masks and staying a few feet away from one another.